What's up, guys? Back to another day of quarantine school. Chilling with my boy Henry here, eating some Cheerios. You should be finished up your math review today. Answers are posted down below in the Google Classroom box. You'll be able to click those, check them out, see if you got them right. If you get really stuck on one, try your best before you just look at the answer. Alright, guys. Sorry for this weird picture of the world. This is just like the background for when I'm recording my voice. Anyways, once you finish the math, go ahead and make sure you've already submitted your story. I posted a link where everybody could look at the stories. So you can go ahead and click on that and check out everybody's stories that's submitted so far. And then get ready for a little bit of science. Alright, science time. Here we go. What's up, guys? Today we're going to continue to talk about fossils. There's a few things we want to talk about today. So far we've talked about the different types of fossils. There's really 5 different types of fossils that we've talked about. We've talked about like amber, preserved fossils. We've talked about true fossils. We've talked about cast and mold. We've also talked about trace fossils. Today what we're really going to focus on is preserved fossils and fossils like fossils in amber. Okay? Amber is just one type of preserved fossil. There's many different types of preserved fossils. For example, there's sediment fossils. Sediment fossils is when a dinosaur dies or is buried alive very quickly, and sediment immediately covers the fossil. Now, usually it preserves it pretty well. Let me show you an example. This is Boreopelta. Boreopelta means northern shield. This specific fossil was found in Alberta, Canada by Sean Funk. He was actually operating some heavy machinery underground, and he noticed the rock looked a little bit different than the other rock around it, so he stopped. Boreopelta was one of the ankylosaurs. It's a group of heavy set dinosaurs, kind of like tanks. They have like those thwacking tails, like clubs, that they kind of like smack each other with, but their backs are covered in super heavy armored like scales, kind of like a tank or something. He actually had 20-inch long spikes jutting from his shoulders. They estimate it weighed about 1.5 tons, okay, so about 3,000 pounds, and it was about 20 feet from head to tail. They think it probably couldn't swim very well because of where they found it. They had found it in the bottom of a lake bed, or ocean bed, so it's possible that it either was flooded out to sea and then drowned, or it went out into the water and couldn't swim. It was a little bit too deep. There's a couple things they think could have happened to it, really, but it ended up in the water in the bottom of the lake or ocean, and it was quickly covered by a bunch of sediment. Okay? So it actually preserved it really well. Now, there is some other types of preserved fossils. For example, amber fossils that I've showed you before. Sometimes fossils are covered in ash. There's asphalt or tar pit fossils where they fall into tar pits, and peat bog fossils. Fossils can also be preserved by chemical changes. So if mineralization or petrification happens, like when Randy's dad came in that day we were looking at the rocks, I had some petrified wood, he had some petrified wood. And petrification and mineralization is just when minerals replace what's already there. So if there was a bone in the ground, the minerals from the soil would soak into the bone and replace what was already there. Same thing happens in petrification to the wood. Minerals just replace what's already there and it hardens like a rock. So now for the rest of today's lesson, I want you to watch the videos I posted in Google Classroom. I want you to also do a little bit of research on the internet about different types of fossils, like tar pit fossils or petrification or mineralization, or different fossils they found in amber, different animals they found in amber. But I only want you to research on the computer with parental supervision. Don't do it on your own. I ask that parents help you guys out. So wait for a good time that's good for your parents so that they can kind of watch over your shoulder and see what you're up to. There's 3 questions I want you to keep in mind as you're researching about the fossils. Okay, number 1, why are these type of fossils preserved so well? Why are these type of fossils preserved so well? Number 2, why don't we find as many preserved fossils in Utah? Why don't we find as many preserved fossils in Utah? And number 3, what kind of fossils do we find in Utah? So those are the 3 questions I want you to go through. Go ahead and check out the links I've posted on Google Classroom. You can check those out. And good luck. It's fun to talk to you guys about fossils.